Hey guys, it's Scoia'tael, and today I've got some really important news for you. So I just joined up with Team Legacy. I'm going to be doing the content creation for them, and if you haven't checked them out, the link's in the description. They have some of the best players in the world, so it's going to be amazing working with these guys on a regular basis. So today we have a deck guide. We're looking at precision strikes, so let's get into it. This deck was given to me by a really good friend, T.A. Lewis, so we called it T.A. Lewis. I've been playing this for the last couple months, and I love it. So it's a really good combination of very heavy control with engine removal. We have a very uninteractive play, so a lot of the deployabilities of our opponent's units don't necessarily work in most cases. We have tons of hand buffs and carryover into late game, and it's actually a very hyper thin oriented deck as well, because we have a lot of thinning packages. So let's get into some of the important cards that are essential to this deck. You could make some adjustments, but I think that it's just fine the way it is. First off, we have Force Protector. This card is almost an auto-include on every single Precision Strike list that we have in today's meta. On deploy, play a Bronze Nature card from your graveyard. So assuming you have played either a Nature's Rebuke, Circle of Life, Dryad's Caress, or a Tempering throughout the entire game, you have the ability to play another copy of it. So it gets a lot of value. In most cases, you're going to be looking for removal with the Circle of Life or Nature's Rebuke. However, you do have some backup options with these two here. So definitely look at Force Protector. It's a good swing, a good tempo play, and I like to play it most often into Nature's Rebuke because on Death Blow, boost a random allied treant by 2, so you get the extra 2 value off the treant when you use a Death Blow. And you can tutor that with your leader ability, for example. Secondly, we have Novigradian Justice. Spawn a Cleaver's Muscle in your melee row and play a Bronze Dwarf from your deck. Just to show you, a Cleaver's Muscle is a 5 power unit with a shield, and we'll be playing from our deck the Bronze Markham Volunteers. So with these ones here, deploy, if you control a dwarf, summon all copies of this unit from your deck to the row. So it acts as a really good thin. It brings out these 2 cards at once. That combined with the Cleaver Muscle is a good 13 points, assuming that they haven't been boosted in your deck. So it's a really good tempo swing, and that's when you finally decide to put units on the board, because there aren't a lot of units in the deck. And then we have All God. Deploy, boost 3 units in your deck by 2. This card doesn't find a lot of use in today's meta, but it fits quite well here because the 3 units we can boost in deck are likely to be some of the units we're going to take out later during our point swings, such as the Markham Volunteers from the Novigradian Justice swing, or even the Brock Lawn Sentinels from our leader swing. So it's a really good opportunity basically to get these units buffed so that when they come out later they're more powerful and we can finish the game that way strongly. And then we have Sheldon Skaggs. Deploy on melee, damage an enemy unit by the amount Sheldon is boosted. This is perfect because we have tons of cards that are going to boost units in hand, like the Hawk Smugglers, we have the Circle of Lives, we have the Dwarven Agitators, so it's not difficult to get a lot of hand buffs on the Sheldon Skaggs. So when we deploy this, it acts as an instant removal to a lot of engines they have, or maybe their tallest unit, depending on what that might be. So I definitely like to have Sheldon Skaggs in this list. And of course, lastly, Herald Gord. Deploy, boost self by 0, increase the boost by 1 for every special card you play during the game. You'll notice that we have the minimum amount of units in our deck, so it centrals around playing special cards. What's nice is that we have the ability to get extra value from Neuromancy because it has the Echo status, and Force Protector, which also plays another special card to the game. So it's not uncommon to see Herald Gord as the last play of the entire game, and having Gord 20 plus points, including hand buffs and all the specials that we played. So because we're playing so uninteractive, having this as the last play, the opponent often doesn't have a response to it, which is ideal and which can generally win us the game. So be mindful of that and look out for that when we play a couple games today. Alright, perfect. I like to go against the coin, so it's nice that we're starting second here. So ideally you want to mulligan back the Brock Lawn Sentinels. And it's not too bad that we keep a Volunteer because we can boost it in hand and shuffle it back in deck after.
All these signs can mean but one thing.
2 circles of life. I would say we just kind of tutor it and essentially just buff this here with the hand buff. There's the commitment.
Tremble before the light of the great sun.
And we can do the same thing because we're removing engines here, so it's not too bad. And we'll just get that nice and big. We're gonna put that back in deck, so then when Justice swings out, it's gonna be roughly 20 points, give or take.
What is truth if not an illusion?
And they're really going for the assimilate curve here. You always play down to 7. No matter what, so they might choose to pass here, but I doubt it.
I shall be your eyes, my lord.
Well, great. They took our Karathi. So given the disadvantage here and the fact that they have Cantarella, they're looking to play maybe the Gord or something that's going to brick our late game. I say we go for the pass here. We got a commitment of Artorias and Portal just from using a couple circles of life. And they're really digging for something else here, like the Gord.
Let us see.
Just a Sentinel. That's not too bad. So we won't get as much of a momentum shift or swing from the Broccolon Sentinels, but we do have really good value in the Markham Volunteers. So keep that in mind. And since we have our tutor, we can put that back in deck, as well as the Broccolon Sentinel. There we go.
Not afraid? You should be.
And because we need units on the board, I would say we go with the All God round 2, just because if they decide to bleed, it's going to give us more value off of the Justice. And we'll do that. Just because we're guaranteed to pull these cards. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and just use a couple specials. The reason why we play down to 7 is because we want to make sure we have a lot of specials in grave for Gord to get maximum value. So we're not in bad shape here. We have a really good swing off of just the hand buffs and whatnot. Geralt Pro would be nice, 12 would be nice, and Gord would be nice. Actually, yeah, we'll keep that. Because we can dive in for Gord. These will come out. This should be okay. And since we're going first, we'll keep it light.
We'll pay men back for their persecution.
The goal here is to not interact with them too much and to try to basically destroy the units they play to prevent the combinations from really starting off, so.
It's worth 20 florins.
Ideally we'll just rebuke that because it gets its value. 4 plus 2 plus assimilate, so it could be up to 8 value there. Yeah, it's just the whole assimilate play, is it not? So we'll just remove it. You see what I mean? The extra 2 is really nice here. And so far, they're engine free, basically. We don't want to wait too late to use all our good cards, because yeah, that's gonna happen. So hopefully they don't pull into anything too good. Maybe just a pact or something, or justice. And that'll hit for the 3. That's not bad. We'll trade the leader off for that for sure.
Let's get this over with.
Now Becker's is a really good way to remove that quick 8 damage. Geralt Pro is a great target for our leader.
What is it you want? True love could lift the curse, but who would love such a...
And that just feeds really well into... Here, I'll show you something. We gotta tutor that down. So 2. So we could basically tutor down the Bravins and then death blow off the G Pro. Seems legit.
Long live the Emperor!
Yeah, that'll be the play. For that swing, Pro comes out for Bravins. And it's unfortunate that we didn't get value off the Hawk Smuggler, because we had to sort of respond to what they were doing, but it's not the end of the world, really. They'll focus the removal efforts to take away this, which is the fun part.
Enough! Let us finish this. Used to be I hunted game. Men bring more coin.
And Gord's gonna play decent. This is gonna be the big play. We'll make him feel like we're really trying to buff something in hand, even though there's no unit. Move the camera up, it's blocking Siri's head. There we go. We're definitely not out of the water yet, guys, but it's looking not too bad, given that they only have 2 assimilate units out there.
Oh, you've done it now. Can dwarves fight?
There we go, big swing.
Fish pissing lakes.
And keep in mind, this is without our second Sentinel, and it's also without our Karathi. So we would have been able to really remove something tall here if we had that card. And generally you wrap things up by playing Gord, so we'll tuck them on ranged.
Used to chop wood, but the pay's better for souls.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had Invo for Gord to remove it, but either way we still win this game. There you have it for game 1. First game today feels good. GG. Alright, let's get started here. Game 2. It's going to be very difficult to come back from a bleed, so we have to make sure we take control of the first round the best we can. It's a much different dynamic than the first game. That's a perfect hand. So we have all God for the hand buffs. It's a little bit greedy, but we'll get it in before the thrive curve so that we have the opportunity to essentially swing out leader, swing out justice if we can to take round. I think the trick here is basically not losing on even, so if we are going to lose the round, let's make sure that we get the card advantage here. And so we'll just circle like that because it's a really good target. Take away one Thrive Engine. We buffed All God because I don't want them to know when we're trying to leave. And we'll hop for another circle. Get Skags looking proper this time around. I do think that we'll probably be able to get out of this one without committing really anything else. Probably just look for a pass here, assuming they don't play something tall. Four thriving units, one lonely All God. We get out just like that. Because we definitely have to be ready for when they try to bleed round 2. I don't see why they wouldn't. That's when I want to commit leader, justice, everything like that, potentially. And then Gord and Skags could be like a good round 3. Sort of short round finisher if we can pull it off. This is good too. Honestly, there's not a lot else that I'd rather play. This will be one removal, well, hand buff removal, so we're okay. We risk basically pulling into things we don't want to have in hand by taking those extra mulligans. So generally with this deck, when the hand is pretty good, keep it. Protector into circle wouldn't be such a bad idea. That way we have a removal for 6. It could be like a beast or something. What worries me though is a long round 3 with bots at thrive value, so we have to be careful about using all of our removal before then. They might pass on 7, so let's just go ahead and get a hand buff going. Split it up a little bit just in case they have tall removal. They definitely want that card back. I'd rather risk giving it to them. Place for 8. So Skags is going to be the play, I think. Because Skags on melee deals for 6, spawns 2. It's the most value we're going to get here. And they had the chance to get out, but we're going to keep it going. So ranged. We don't want to kill Goliath because it's actually going to be detrimental to what we're doing here, so you can keep it simple. Buff a rat up by 1. That'll probably be for the urn. Okay. So it's for the griffin, I guess. $36, we need a bigger swing. Geralt Pro is nice here. We don't want to overcommit with Justice. We don't want to spend leader. I don't want to use Rock Slide, Gourd, etc. So it's important we maintain last say. Risk tall band because I think they have an Ozril. And everything else they played so far wasn't super tall.
Yours, truly? Who made it yours?
King Oberon, Matir the Lear.
So if anything, we'll just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna sink it there, just because. Whoops. This could be a bad thing. We missed the point. Hopefully it doesn't cost us. We had to spend leader, because these two plays here are gonna be the big ones. And now we have to decide. Perfect. That puts us in a pretty good spot, guys. And they forfeit. Yeah, because Justice would have played for GG. Justice would have played for nearly 20 points. Same with Gourd. Very short round 3. Would have put us in a great spot to win. And there you have it, guys. We played 2 games today and we won both with not too much difficulty. I'm going to be posting the deck guide on playgwent.com, so you can go and check in the description for a link to it. Definitely give it a try. Let me know how it works for you. Also, feel free to join the Discord community because Lewis, who made the deck, is an active member of my community, and he would love to hear some of the success stories you have with it. So, until next time, thank you guys. We'll see you around, and enjoy the deck.